de Bernardine Evaristo, Girl, Woman, Other. Vou ler um excerto de Latisha. She dressed up for their date in a clingy spangled dress and strappy heels, determined not to give up until their 10th date, and would insist on a condom. He picked her up in his car from her house, which was very gentlemanly, instant of meeting her at a Caribbean restaurant on the high street as planned. Conversation was easy as they cruised through the streets. They had Pickham School for boys and girls in common, had a laugh about Mrs. King, still there, still hated by everyone, still called FF. But instant of taking her to the restaurant, they headed to his place for a private romantic meal, he said, instant of a noisy restaurant with loads of guys ogling her. What would she say to that? She discovered he lived in a room in a shared house with a bed, a wardrobe and a sink. She thought of walking straight out again, but he said, "I've been dreaming of a dance with you. Let's dance, Letitia, let's dance." "Then I'll order an Indian." He played John Legend, pulled her towards him, and she thought, okay, dancing is harmless, except he got very handsy and it quickly got steamy between them. It had been a year since she'd given birth, and all of this time there had been like no sex. She wasn't going to go all the way, just wanted to mess around a little until Trey unzipped his jeans while they were dancing and stuffed her hand down his trousers. "Okay, Trey, so I'm going to leave now? Can you drop me off home, please? Or, tell you what, I'll take the bus. I really have to go home and be with my kids and make sure I don't get myself into any more trouble," she said in her head. While giving him a hand job on the bed, and before she could object, he was inside her, and it wasn't even a first date, let alone a 10th, and she wasn't expecting it, and he was really pumping hard and making her sore, and she struggled to move out from under what felt like a block of concrete. "And I don't want to, not yet. Get off me, please, Trey," she said, out loud to deaf ears, so she gave up, couldn't stop him, and led him on. Anyway, she let him get on with it, until he groaned as he finished, lay half on top of her, crushing her ribs, fell asleep, didn't want to disturb him by moving, wanted to go home. She really needed to go home to Jason and Chantel and Jayla and Mom. When he rolled off her enough to escape, she left quickly in case he woke up and ordered the Indian. She walked the streets until she found a bus stop, waited ages for it. It was cold and she wasn't dressed for it, had to change buses twice. It took her 3 hours to reach home, where she spent a long time in the shower, wondering if he'd done anything wrong or was it her fault. She should have stayed and talked to him about it. He might have said he hadn't heard her saying no, or that she drove him so crazy with desire, which was kind of flattering, and he couldn't stop himself.